Right here is the locomotion, vitality, and the motor senses of the brain. Okay, you can see it's quite chronic to heavy side. Also here is the pituitary gland. Again, pituitary gland is the master gland, controls all the other glands of the body. So you want a healthy. Right here is the pineal gland. This is responsible for sleep. Okay, again, is the chronic side as well. So you want to detox that. So right here is the forehead region and the eyes, nose, okay, and upper jaw region. All heavy lymph stagnation and chronic. Okay, so you want to detox that. This entire section here. Right here is the thyroid region, okay, and the tonsils as well. You can see it's the chronic side. And beside it here is the parathyroid right here, okay? This is heavy lymph stagnation, and you need to detox that because the parathyroid is responsible for all the tissue integrity of the body, okay, for calcium utilization. And when it's weak, everything's going to be weak. So, like you can see the bowels here again, ascending colon is almost spastic and as well as protruding. Transverse colon is also chronic, and descending colon is also ballooning out as well as sigmoid. So it indicates a weak parathyroid and the thyroid as well. So you want to detox that. The thick skin ring around your eye, that dark ring around the eye, is due to a weak thyroid. It means you're not sweating properly. So it's right here. So you need to detox that. Right here is the voice box, okay, and the esophagus region. Okay, you want to detox that. And all here is the upper middle lower back region and the spine region. You can see it's quite heavy with lymph stagnation. So you want to detox that. Going to on the chronic side. Right here is the vagina and bladder region, okay? You can see it's the chronic side. It's almost a crypt here. So you need to really look at that and detox that. Right here is the kidney and adrenals. You can see it's the chronic side as well. The adrenals are chronic, which would explain why you also have nerve rings around the eye. You can see very fine lines going around, like a circle around the eye. That's weak adrenals, and it's quite evident here. So weak kidneys here will indicate a thick skin ring because the body can't eliminate waste properly through the kidneys, so the skin takes the burden, and the skin is not as efficient as eliminating metabolic waste. So you have this thick skin ring around here. This in combination with the weak thyroid I mentioned here. Okay, so you have to work on the thyroid and the kidneys and adrenals. And right here is the right foot, knee, and thigh region. You can see it's the chronic side. All here is the lower abdominal region, okay, which marks the urethra, the pelvis and the groin regions. All here. You can see it's quite heavy lymph stagnation. You want to really work on that. And right here is the pancreas and ovary section. You can see it's quite heavy lymph stagnation. Okay, the pancreas is also used for digestion. Okay, and the ovaries it's crucial for the female reproductive area. And right here is the liver and gallbladder. You can see it's quite chronic as well. Okay, liver is the chemical factory of the body, and you want to make sure that it's really healthy. So take liver and gallbladder tincture. All here is the rib section, and right here is the chest or breast section. Okay, you can see it's quite heavy with lymph stagnation. And right here is the lower and upper lung region. You can see it's quite heavy, stagnated with lymph. Okay, so you maybe use a lung tincture or lung tea to clear things up, help you clear things up. Right here is the shoulder, neck, and the mastoid region. You can see it's quite heavy lymph stagnation. Okay, you probably get stiffness here. You want to detox that. So right here is the mastoid and medulla region. This is responsible for balancing dizziness, equilibrium. So you really want to make sure that's healthy and working well. All this is the brain section, as I mentioned before. And the brain section in this eye is quite heavy with lymph stagnation, okay? And all this very on the topmost part out here is the hair and scalp, which you can see is quite heavy with lymph stagnation. So hair issues, scalp issues will be evident here. The bowels are the most prominent stuff you need to detox here because they're quite chronic. See how dark it is and quite well defined? Means the chronic bowels. The bowels are the most chronic part of this eye, okay, and especially in the thick skin ring. But the bowels here are well defined. You see how the dark line going around the bowels indicates it's getting to a chronic side. And you want to detox that because the bowels are both spastic and enlarging. So you see how it goes in and out, that's spastic. And when it protrudes out, it's enlarging. So it's weak connective tissue from the poor calcium utilization from the parathyroid. So you want to clean the bowels as well. And there's a very thin malabsorption ring around the pupils, indicates you're not absorbing nutrients properly, probably due to mucus plaque blocking the small intestines, okay? So we want to fix that. Use a GI cleaner. And you have radii solarius, fine lines coming out of the pupil, leaching out to other body parts and glands. This is toxic tunnels of waste from the gut, leaching out to other body parts. So you want to clean that up, okay? And then there's actual purple hue in the eye, in the pupil, that indicates cholesterol or potential eye issues. There's also a cholesterol ring around the actual eye itself, the iris, and that indicates the body is acidic and is using cholesterol to bind to acids. You also have a lot of red blood vessels, and yellow here indicates weak liver, indicates high acidosis, so you need to detox that quickly. What's most prominent in this eye, again, like detox the bowels, use Brain Enough to use the Fab 5 tinctures, sweat a lot, work on the thyroid and parathyroid, okay? Work on the kidneys and adrenals, very important. And your eyes should clear up nicely, okay? It's just a matter of time. It's very thick, heavy lymph stagnation, so you have to use fruits like citrus fruits, melons, grapes to move the lymph system. This will tend to a very light brown eye. Right now it's to yellowish brown, which indicates subacute lymph stagnation. So you really want to work on that.